Welcome to Wisteria, the book where Blythe Hawthorne gets forced married to a cosmic manipulator in a garden so beautiful it should be illegal, and so cursed it basically is. Forget romance, forget joy, forget normal November weddings. This one feels like someone mixed a fairy tale with a hostage situation and called it a celebration. Before we continue with the story, making our videos takes plenty of caffeine, chaos, and too many snacks, but we love every moment of it. If you enjoy our unhinged humor and dramatic recaps, please like, subscribe, and comment. It helps us keep creating more ridiculous, story-driven chaos and tells YouTube we exist. Stick around, join the madness, and help this little corner of the internet grow. Now, back to the story. We open at Wisteria Gardens, which sounds whimsical until you realize it's a floral prison wrapped in vines and passive-aggressive magic. Blythe is marrying Fate. Yes, that Fate. Golden God, the man she hates more than poison, betrayal, and green slippers combined. Unfortunately, she needs to save her father from a bogus murder charge, so into the gilded trap she goes. Then Blythe? Oh, she doesn't go quietly. She shows up in green velvet slippers purely because Fate hates the color. Peak petty, peak queen. The ceremony is a masterpiece of tension. Fate tries to assert dominance by literally freezing time because what says healthy marriage? Like playing God mid-vows. Blythe, however, refuses to react. She may be magically bound, emotionally battered, and cosmically blackmailed, but she is still absolutely not letting this man win. Her defiance is the only weapon she has left. Sharp, thorned, and aimed directly at his ego. Only if they knew what they meant to each other. When Fate slips the golden band onto her finger, it's not a symbol of love. It's a shackle, a cosmic handcuff, a reminder that she's trapped in a marriage built on coercion, illusion, and survival. Still, Blythe stands tall. If this place is a cage, she plans to rule it like a queen with claws. The wedding guests? Oh, they're not human. They're enchanted puppets, glamour illusions who chat only among themselves, smile too widely, and exist purely to make the ceremony look socially acceptable. It's like attending a tea party hosted by nightmares. After the vows, Blythe finally gets a moment with her father. Elijah tries to act supportive, but he sees through her fragile composure instantly. He slips her a hidden knife, father of the year, honestly, and begs her to send letters so he knows she's alive. Blythe lies, beautifully, insisting she's fine. The weight of the wedding ring says otherwise. Fate approaches her afterward with all the warmth of a winter storm. Their exchange, cold, sharp, distrust layered over distrust. He talks like he owns her. She listens like she's planning his funeral. And just like that, Blythe Hawthorne becomes Blythe Dryden, a bride, a prisoner, an unwilling queen in a garden of fate. This marriage isn't a beginning. It's a battlefield. So Blythe has officially survived, physically at least, the world's least romantic wedding. Surely now she gets a honeymoon? A moment of peace? Maybe a cup of tea that isn't trying to kill her? Absolutely not. The carriage ride after the ceremony is so icy it could freeze the Thames. It's not a romantic getaway. It's two powerful people trapped in a wooden box, weaponizing silence and sarcasm like it's combat. Fate, ever the gentleman, note the sarcasm, informs her that their honeymoon is staged. Blythe refuses to leave Thorngrove, so Fate, calling her bluff like the petty golden tyrant he is, simply sends her away without him. And where does she end up? Not a resort? Not a Wisteria? Not even a neutral inn. He dumps her. Alone in the garden behind Thorngrove. The same garden where her brother died. The same garden her mother adored. The same garden that symbolizes everything she's lost. Fate didn't stab her. He did something worse. He made her face what she's been suppressing. Standing among the ruins of memories, grief hits her like a tidal wave. Her mother, her brother, her innocence, all tangled in vines and thorns. She finds a single crimson petal glowing with something impossible, a whisper of her mother's magic, life's power, or fate playing games. She barely has time to breathe before the wedding ring burns her and she is violently yanked back through space, dragged straight to Wisteria Gardens like a cosmic leash just got pulled. She reappears at the manor's door, still in her ruined wedding gown, confused, shaken, and humiliated. Wisteria looms above her like a gothic judge ready to read her sentence. Inside, Blythe quickly discovers the truth. Fate isn't decorating a honeymoon suite for her. He's giving her a cold, empty room, stripped of comfort. It's not a marital home. It's a warning, a test, maybe even an exile. Exploring the manor is no better. Everything breathes illusion. Everything whispers secrets. Behind a portrait of Fate's first wife, she uncovers a hidden room. A memorial? A shrine? A warning? Hard to tell, but the message is clear. Fate has known love before, and he's willing to lock its ghost behind a wall. The coldness she sensed in him. It wasn't her imagination. Then comes the dinner illusion. A silver lake, floating chandeliers, starlit sky, a feast fit for gods. It should be breathtaking. Instead, it feels like a trap wrapped in moonlight. Fate is trying to impress her. Blythe isn't buying it. She forces a bargain. She'll play along if he promises to let her go home. He agrees. Sort of. Probably not. Then the magic fades. The silver lake vanishes, the chandeliers disappear, and Blythe is left alone again in Wisteria's cold gray skeleton. A bride, a prisoner, a girl determined not to break, a girl who does not know she's life and does not know how to handle all these powers. Welcome to the part where Wisteria Manor stops pretending to be a house and starts behaving like a sentient labyrinth with boundary issues. Blythe, exhausted, lonely, and only mildly traumatized, begins exploring the estate. That's when she discovers the manor is shifting. As in, hallways changing direction, doors disappearing, entire corridors rearranging like it's playing hide and seek with her sanity. And naturally, the very first magical detour leads her into an otherworldly glade hidden inside the manor itself. Because why not? Nothing in Blythe's life is allowed to be normal. In this surreal space, she finds portraits, Fate painted over and over like the narcissist he absolutely is, alongside a pale-haired woman she instantly recognizes as Life. The realization hits. Fate once loved someone who wasn't a puppet, illusion, or prisoner. The emotional complexity? Gross. Moving on. She tries to leave, but Wisteria says, nope, and hands her a mysterious hand mirror that hums with familiarity. Great. Another haunted object. Exactly what every kidnapped bride needs. Marriage would do. She writes letters, one to her father, one to Signa. She practically bleeds her desperation onto the page, though she tries to play it cool. Fate, ever the gatekeeper of communication and joy, demands she hand the letters to him. Whether he actually sends them? Suspicious. Blythe's trusting him anyway? More suspicious. In a rare act of vulnerability, or manipulation, it's Fate, so who knows? He shows her his craft, weaving fate through tapestries powered by emotion. Blythe challenges him, questioning whether fate really is unchangeable. For a brief moment, something soft flickers between them. Connection, curiosity, annoyance, probably all three. The next morning, Blythe attempts to return Life's mirror. Wisteria responds by trolling her. The path to the glade is gone. The door vanished, and she spends hours wandering around like it's an escape room designed by malicious gods. Defeated, she collapses beneath the portrait of the dead woman and stares into the mirror's swirling darkness. And that's when he appears. Death, in human form, inside Wisteria. Dramatic entrance. Achieved! He tells her he's not here to kill her, which is good etiquette, and reveals that Signa sent her letter through him. Blythe, emotionally feral at this point, agrees to go with him to Foxglove. Midnight ghost transport with Death himself? Very on brand. At Foxglove, she finds Signa surrounded by spirits, journals, and a darkness thick enough to chew. The air is tense. Signa is distant, restless, drowning in research about the deaths of their parents. Blythe drags her outside into sunlight, hoping to break the gloom, but the tension only deepens. Then comes Fiore, the place Blythe expected to be a warm postcard of beauty, but instead finds cliffs, brutal winds, and seas that look like they're plotting murder. As they walk, her ring burns, her connection to fate twists, and Death delivers cryptic hints that fate is, shockingly, up to something. Again, the confrontation that follows ends with fate ripping her back to Wisteria like she's attached to a cosmic yo-yo. And once more, Blythe is trapped. A girl divided between fear, duty, and a fate that refuses to obey her. Welcome back to Wisteria, where Blythe is still married, still furious, and still cursed with a ring that treats her like a magically GPS-tagged house cat. After being yoinked back by fate mid-confrontation, things between them are tense. And by tense, I mean Blythe is ready to burn the entire estate down, and fate is acting like she's the unreasonable one. Blythe begins having visions, unsettling, emotional, memory-like fragments about fate's dead lover. She sees a ghost of a woman who clearly meant something to him. This should make Blythe feel relief because their marriage is fake, but of course, it makes her feel something else, something sharper, something she doesn't want to name. Fate then decides the best way to maintain the ruse is a nighttime sled ride under starry skies, alone together, and this is where the emotional tripwire snaps. They talk, they soften, they see the broken parts in each other, and for the first time, Blythe wonders if this marriage, this cosmic trap, might not be entirely devoid of tenderness. One thing leads to another, and after a night together, their relationship crosses a boundary neither of them can easily undo. Vulnerability mixes with desire, anger bleeds into need. But reality returns quickly. Blythe's powers spike. Her mother's garden haunts her. A demon named Solanine warns her that she's breaking cosmic balance. And her body, failing under the strain. Chaos is rising, poisoning Thorngrove, unraveling the world thread by thread. Fate tries to protect her, fiercely, because he knows Blythe is life, even confronting and revealing flashes of genuine care. Their kiss afterward is fire, desperate, conflicted, hungry. But the price comes fast. Blythe collapses. Blythe is poisoned. Her life now hangs by a thread woven by fate himself. Welcome to the part where everything dies. Undies, collapses, resurrects, explodes, and emotionally ruins you. In other words, peak Wisteria. Blythe, already collapsing under the weight of her powers, is spiraling. She's haunted by visions of her mother's garden, the creeping vines inside her chest, and the unbearable truth that she might not survive this. Fate and Cigna argue over her fate like divorced parents fighting over custody, while Blythe just tries not to die on the floor, but death doesn't wait. She follows a vision into Thorngrove, feeling like a stranger in her own home. There, among memories and ghosts, she discovers something impossible. Percy, her dead brother, very much alive, or at least breathing. Disheveled, confused, and frostbitten, he remembers almost nothing. Blythe, torn between rage and grief, heals his hands with life power, but the act drains her even further. Their bond, whatever it is dangerous. Deadly even. Death arrives, tension spikes, and fate, torn between revenge and the woman he's fallen for, is forced to choose whether to kill Percy or save Blythe. Blythe begs for mercy. Fate's heart fractures, but the truth is clear. Blythe is dying, and nothing can stop it now. As the world blurs, fate takes her in his arms. Blythe tries to hide the pain to spare him pain, insisting he move on when she's gone. But fate, the arrogant golden god of fate, responds with something he's never said before. He loves her, truly, desperately, cosmically, and then Blythe dies. Her heartbeat stops. Her body falls still. The world, his world, collapses. Fate shatters. He curses Percy, damning him to eternal suffering. Chaos whispers victory, and fate, for once, feels powerless. But love, messy as it is, isn't done. In an impossible act of selfless defiance, fate sacrifices his own life to bring Blythe back. Even though he knows Blythe is life, she does not know this is the most selfless act fate could have ever done. A trade, a cosmic loophole, a final devotion. His light extinguishes as hers reignites. Blythe wakes gasping, alive and broken. Fate is gone, truly gone, and her body erupts with thorns and vines at manifestations of grief so powerful they tear through the walls of Wisteria itself. She becomes a mourning garden, a girl shaped by love and loss. Time passes, slowly, painfully. Supported by her father, by Cigna, by the family she still has, Blythe learns to breathe again. She reconnects with her powers in art, her fingers weaving creation instead of destruction. She lives. Not because fate demands it, but because fate would have wanted her to. But grief, like magic, never truly leaves. In the epilogue, rumors swirl about a young woman who vanished into a hidden palace and never aged. That woman is Blythe. She has survived decades, ageless and alone, her heart still searching the world for something impossible. Until a fox appears. It leads her to a door spun from golden threads. She opens it and steps into a strange town. And there, cut by the briars she created, is a man. A familiar shape, a familiar warmth, a familiar gaze. Golden eyes. Her heart stops, then races. Blythe, he whispers. Fate is back. And the story ends where fate always wanted it to, with two souls finding each other through life, death, and every impossible thing in between. So, what did you think of Wisteria? If you survived the emotional torture, the chaos magic, the cosmic brothers fighting, the fake kingdom, the real trauma, the demon threats, Percy showing up alive like an unwashed jump scare, and fate sacrificing himself in the most heart-shattering way possible. Congratulations! You're officially certified Wisteria resilient. Now be a good mortal and like, subscribe, and hit that bell. You know, the one fate rings whenever he decides to ruin someone's life for character development. See you soon. And remember, never trust fate, never trust illusions. And if a fox leads you to a magic door, maybe don't open it. Or do. Depends how much emotional damage you're in the mood for.